I would film more in there, but I'm not sure why they don't allow photos. But it's beautiful. In the church of one of these hilltop monasteries that are famous in Greece. You may have seen them on Instagram or something. Here's one off in the distance. And I think they said there's 6 still active of these monasteries, including this one, and they're quite large. I mean, and they're beautiful. There used to be like more than 20 apparently, but over the years, some have been destroyed by earthquakes and fell into disrepair and such. 2 of them are no longer active but still exist, and then another 6 that are fully active. So here you've got essentially, I mean, I don't know what they would call it. I would call it kind of like a museum, but well, looks like where they've buried some of the monks. But, you know, I'm sure that it's not considered a museum when it's still active. But over here you can see still actively, you know, hauling groceries up and stuff. From this hook all the way down there. And then they've also got this, you can see, system. That'd be crazy to go inside. Of like these cable cars, so that the monks and groceries and stuff can come up that way, I suppose. So you don't have to make the little hike. Some of these monasteries are less accessible. This one, you know, you can drive up in your tour bus, and then it's like maybe a 3-minute walk. You just got to walk up some stairs. But some of the monasteries, to come by foot, you've got to really kind of hike it. And so these cable cars help with that. The surrounding area, it's stunning. I mean, these rock formations that you're seeing just go for, I mean, the whole region is like dotted with them. And you see that there's these natural caves that form from wind, and some of them go a little deeper than others, but I guess for hundreds, I mean, probably like close to 1,000 years, I guess, maybe more, monks have been camping out inside of these little caves, and then some of them established monasteries. And I'm constantly on the lookout as I film this for someone who's going to say, hey, no filming, no filming. I'm not sure if it's allowed or not outside of the church in the actual monastery, but they seem kind of strict in some areas. This is just, I don't even know what the significance is, but it's a giant barrel from like the 1600s. So it's super cool. I'm not sure if there's some greater significance than the fact that it's an old giant barrel, but it's cool. With some art. And people leave, like, I guess, offerings inside, like their money, their little prayer bracelets. It's neat. I wish you could see better so I could film. Here, let me film a bit.
No photos, no videos, please.
In the whole?
In the chat.
Ah.
In the whole area is fine.
Okay, thank you.
Sir.
Yeah, see. I don't know why they are against having the church filmed. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I get if you know, inside the church, maybe it's because they don't want people stopping and you know, holding everything up, but even filming from the outside, she says, don't film. I don't know why. If it's a religious thing or what. Looks like out here we can film at least. And this is all Orthodox Christian. So you can see that the art is quite different from Roman Christian. It's much more like two-dimensional. I think that it was something about like, you know, the in Europe, like, so you know about the Renaissance being kind of a revival of like the ancient Greek and Roman arts. I guess that in Europe they actually essentially forgot, like there was no one left who could do the amazing like three-dimensional looking paintings of the ancient Greeks and Romans, and so you know, much of the art looked like this. And even when you look at like medieval Catholic art, much of it is very flat. Like they really don't have a great sense of how to paint like dimension. But then they rediscovered how to do it, and so the Catholics seem to have taken up that three-dimensional art, but the Orthodox art is still very flat, and it's beautiful and it's cool. It doesn't seem. I would say I prefer the Catholic art, but still amazing. I mean, in its own way. Like the Catholics, the Orthodox have a huge focus on the Virgin Mary and have a lot of theology around her that I think Protestants don't. And they also they call these icons, like the paintings with, you know, one Jesus or one Mary or one like church father. They call those icons, and those are religiously very significant in Orthodox Christianity. Like they're not just decorative; they're a lot of their like rituals kind of revolve around that, around like kissing the paintings or having like just pondering them. I guess that they're seen as like, you know, they're supposed to be kind of a window looking at the divine. So it's like, it's not that they're literally worshiping the paintings, they say, because that would be idolatry, but that they're, I don't know, helps them worship God or something like that. But you can see that these monasteries are very impressive, especially considering some of them were built, well, I don't actually know when. I know they were here during the Ottoman period, so, you know, at least hundreds of years, but I imagine longer. Wish I could tell you an exact century that these were built, but I mean, the cave dwellings here, look, let me see if I can zoom in on that. That cave, you can see there's some scaffolding inside. I mean, it's amazing that the old aesthetics who took residence in these caves had to basically do rock climbing and build scaffolding and stuff just to go live in these caves. I imagine it was quite dangerous, but quite a lifestyle. And you can see that the views here are spectacular. I mean, this region is naturally stunning, and plus all the history packed into all the caves and the mountaintops. It's just the coolest. And I love how they build these monasteries into the rock, like really work with the land to build them. Some of them you can see are inaccessible. Like if you were to try to build a monastery on top of this one, there would be no real way up. You'd have to carve stairs into the side or some other method of getting up. But some of the monasteries are like that, where you can't, you can only really get through like hiking or climbing. It's really incredible. I think most of them now they've built access for like tourists and just for the ease of the monks, but they weren't always like that. I wish I could film more inside, but they're really weird about that here. So I'm here for 2 days overnight, doing a little bus tours that drive us to the different monasteries, and then we, you know, here it's like, oh, you get an hour inside, and I'm going to walk down and show you the walk down. I guess this is museum, shop, something like that. to go in while filming, but ooh, let's see. We got restrooms down here, but also just beautiful interior. Oh, there's a whole exhibition down here. I'm running out of time, so I probably won't get to go see that, but I'd love to check it out. So here's inside that museum. We've got old relics of the religious institutions. I don't see years on these. I'd like to know when they were made. Okay, back up from the museum. I'm going to show you the walk back down to the street because it's pretty. That's where I was before. Here's the entrance where they collect a fee if you're not Greek.
Is 12.
6. But it's only €3 to go inside. It's quite worth it. I mean, heck, it's almost worth it for this view alone. This might be a bit slow going. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to comment on. Obviously the walkway here looks a lot newer than the monastery itself. It seems that they've done a lot of renovating because I guess this region of Greece has recently become very touristy in the last decade. Someone told me that. So I think that they're probably doing a lot of renovations of these monasteries to accommodate and make sure it's safe and all that, and also just to bring in money. And I'm very interested to know how the process of getting in here and verifying the architectural safety of these monasteries is, given that so much loud. Given that a few of them have, sounds like most of them have already been lost to earthquakes. So I really don't know how they come in and do all that with such old structures that, could very well have not been built to code, 700 years ago or whatever. I wonder how much they have to fully rebuild or if they can just reinforce, but I wonder that all the time of ancient European buildings. I'm sure there's a whole interesting, art to it and field of architecture. And here you are. Back to the street where your tour buses can come. So this one is super convenient to access. Totally worth visiting. That is gorgeous. Look at that. Wow, nice. All right, I better go find my bus. Hope you enjoyed that little walk. I know the film job was a bit lacking, but I was constantly on the lookout because people always saying, hey, no filming here, no filming there. So I was always kind of keeping my phone close to my chest and stuff. And the area of Greece that I'm in is called Meteora, like Meteor with an A on the end. So if you're ever thinking of visiting, put that on the list. You can do a nice just overnight trip from Athens. It's about a 5-hour bus ride from Athens. Apparently the trains in Greece like had we couldn't take the train here because there was like flooding that made the trains not work or something like that. I'm not really sure. And I guess there's protests right now because there was some safety issue. All right. Hope you enjoyed.